I sound crazy. I sound like a crazy helicopter mom. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today's video is going to be a sit-down video. Usually the week's sit-down video is a pregnancy update, but this is actually a video Mitchell requested that I film, and it's going to be all about Joanna's eczema and her food allergy and just how we've learned to deal with that and live with that, because it's something that was very new to both of us. Neither of us have food allergies, and I had eczema when I was younger and like really sensitive skin, but as an adult and really just like as I kind of grew up, my skin hasn't been as sensitive and I haven't really had a lot of eczema flare-ups. So yeah, that is what this video is going to be about. In advance, I'd like to apologize because I am very pregnant and this child is very big and loves to sit on my diaphragm like a baby rhinoceros or something. Just like, yeah. So, water break. So to start, we are going to just talk about Joanna's eczema first. We noticed literally like from like the first week of having Joanna as a little newborn that she had really sensitive skin. We know that babies get, you know, like baby acne, but she had really sensitive skin. One of her grandmothers was actually holding her and she had perfume on, just, you know, like some people do. I rarely wear perfume, but you know, a lot of people do. But anyways, she was wearing perfume and Joanna was just taking a little nap on her chest. And when Joanna woke up, one whole side of Joanna's face, the one that was on her chest, was completely covered in little like, I don't know, they just look like little like pimples, really. They weren't like pussy or anything like that, but like it was just a rash and her face was red and you could tell it was irritated. And we knew immediately like that's what it was, because she had never been exposed to skin that had perfume or something that had a really strong fragrance, and you know, perfumes have alcohols and, you know, just really harsh stuff in it. So we knew that's exactly what it was. So we knew that, but Joanna actually did not start having eczema issues until pretty much around the same time we realized that she had an egg allergy. But we'll just get into how we treat her eczema first, and then we'll discuss her egg allergy. So the biggest thing that we do is that, well, one of the most important things we do is that we wash all of our laundry, like no matter what it is, her clothes, our clothes, blankets, towels, everything. We use a free and clear laundry detergent, and that's how we make sure that everything that's gonna be like in very close contact with Joanna's skin, like her clothes or her sheets and blankets, don't have those super harsh chemicals and fragrances and dyes, you know, because a lot of laundry detergents have dyes in it, if you didn't know that. So that is one of the main ways that we really help to make sure JoJo's skin is not being exposed to a lot of irritants. Also, around the house, I try my very best to not use any super harsh chemicals either, just because there's a lot of studies on like the benefits of not using really harsh chemicals to clean and stuff like that. Like obviously, like I disinfect, but I use more like eco-friendly ways, like using vinegars and hydrogen peroxide and yeah, so baking soda and stuff like that. I can do a different video on that, but don't even let me get down that rabbit hole. So that's one thing. Another thing that we do is that we switched all of her body washes and soaps. So we actually use, by the way, like this video is not sponsored at all in any way, shape, or form. These are just things that we have used and they've worked for us. So yeah, we use the Dr. Bronner's Baby Castile Soap, It does not have any like weird chemicals or dyes again, and it is more oil based. That's what like a Castile soap is, and so that does help her skin get moisturized. So that is something that we use every single time JoJo has a bath. We use this for her, and it has like 18 different uses, so we have like tons of this stuff all around the house and in different scents too, because they're awesome. I really like them. I use it to wash my hair. But yeah, so that is the main thing. We use this to wash JoJo. So yeah, we actually have like little foaming hand soap dispensers that we got that we'll use to pre-dilute it, because you're supposed to dilute it before you use it. So, but she loves it because she'll, you know, she'll want to like pump it on her tummy, and then we'll put like the foam soap on her tummy and pump it on there, and she just scrubs, so it's really cute. To go along with bath time, every time she has a bath, which is pretty much every other day, sometimes she has a bath every day because toddlers get a little crazy sometimes, but we do oatmeal baths. So instead of buying like the $7 box of pretty much pre-packaged oatmeal sleeve things that Aveeno has, they're like $7 just for a box, and you get like 5 of them, 5 little packets, so that's 5 baths for $7. You can buy like a giant thing of oatmeal for less than $3 and make your own oatmeal bath by literally like using like a blender or a food processor, and you just like blend up the oatmeal so it's super fine. And so that is what I do, and I keep it in a container like this. It's just a little airtight container, and it has a little measuring spoon inside. That's a tablespoon that I use to measure, and I usually do about like 3 rounded tablespoons for Joanna's bath, just because I really want her to like soak, and the oatmeal is good to help her skin not be so inflamed, because sometimes it just gets so flared up, and it just makes me so sad because you can tell she's miserable. Like, she will literally just sit there and like claw at her body, and it honestly like breaks my heart, because there's only so much I can do, you know, like I can lotion her constantly all day, but if it's itching and everything that I've done, you know, doesn't relieve it, it's just frustrating. So that's another really important thing that we do. Next is something we do every single day. We use the Mistela. It's an emollient cream. They have a whole bunch of different products, like they have baby body washes and stuff like that, but this is so expensive. Oh my goodness. Like, honestly, I would give like my leg for this child. Like, if there's something that would help her, I would just be like, all right, take my leg or whatever you need. But this stuff is awesome. It is an emollient cream, and you really just put it all over JoJo's body except for her face, pretty much, because her body, like her elbows and like in the bend of her elbow, and then her knees and behind her knees, and then her ankles are where she gets the worst flare-ups of eczema. So per her allergist's suggestion, we use this emollient cream, and this is the one we were most comfortable with, just because of the reviews and just how it's made and the ingredients in it. And it is awesome, guys. Like, seriously, it is amazing. It really does keep her skin so moisturized. But yeah, we use it every night before bed. She gets like a little baby massage, and I'll just, you know, put the lotion all over her and rub her little feet, and she knows it feels good, so she'll just kind of like relax and lay motionless, which is nice because it's kind of hard to lotion, you know, a slippery wiggly baby. But she has come to realize that, like, hey, this feels good and this helps me. So, and this is what we use. Most of we use it at night, but sometimes when she is having a flare up and her skin is either like extra dry or just we can tell it's irritating her more, we will use it in the morning as well to help her. So yeah, we do, however, have an over-the-counter cream that her allergist did prescribe to us, because when we went to go see him, like, she had really bad patches of it that were just like super thick, and that really worked really well for us. Yeah, So we only use that occasionally though, whenever she is having, you know, an issue and having a flare up. But that's not something we do like every single day. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for Joanna's eczema. So we will just get into Joanna's food allergy now. So Joanna is allergic to eggs, and I cannot stress enough to you guys, if you are a parent, a grandparent, a caretaker, just whoever you are, like, trust your gut when it comes to your child, period. Because like, we started introducing food to her when she was 6 months old, and it was really important to me and really important to Mitchell that we exposed her to a lot of, you know, the common allergens. So that is really what we did. She eats a wide variety of foods. I am half Taiwanese, so we love Asian food. We love American food. We love pretty much everything. So she eats everything that we eat pretty much. But it was actually her first birthday, but it's probably like a month or two before her first birthday, we did start to realize that every time she had something that had eggs in it, where egg was more like a main ingredient, she would get a little rash around her mouth. And that's pretty common for babies, like even when they eat certain foods like, sorry guys, a little sniffly. It's pretty common for babies to get a rash around their mouth when they eat like really acidic foods and stuff, because it's just the acid, I guess, that's on the baby's skin. Baby's skin naturally is just really sensitive, but that's not technically like an allergic reaction. But we did notice that every time she had egg, she really broke out in a rash, and it actually would, you know, start to spread all over her body and anywhere that came into contact with the food that she was eating. It was actually really heartbreaking and horrible at her first birthday party, because the smash cake we gave her, she was fine, and then all of a sudden I noticed she had whelps all over her body, and pretty much the whelps were every single place that the icing touched. And lo and behold, a lot of icing is made with eggs, or like egg whites specifically, and that's what was in the icing. And that is when I really was like, we have to go to the doctor. She is allergic to eggs. And her pediatrician was like, okay, let's get you into an allergist. I took pictures to show him, just, you know, because you have to get referred to go to an allergist. At least that's what our experience was, in my understanding. And so I showed like our pediatrician, I was like, listen, this is what happens. I think she's got an egg allergy. So he was like, all right, let's do it, let's go. And we were to an allergist like within like 2 weeks. So that was really awesome, and I'm really thankful we got in so quickly with that. But with that, side note, back to the eczema, every time we noticed she had eggs and was exposed to eggs, like the next day or even like a couple days later, her eczema would flare up. And that's when her eczema started to flare up more and more and become really intense. So yeah, back to the allergist. So we went to the allergist, we did the skin test, and he definitely confirmed that the only thing that she's allergic to that we know of is eggs. So thankfully it's not a super severe you know, allergy, because she, you know, all of her symptoms have only been, you know, just skin symptoms, where she's just gotten whelps and stuff. Like, let me tell you, like, that's horrible. But thankfully she hasn't had any like respiratory issues or like gone into, you know, anaphylactic shock. But even though she does have a more mild, per se, allergy to eggs, we still have to have an EpiPen, because you just don't know with allergies when or if it will turn into something more serious. So that is something that really just scared the daylights out of me and Mitchell. But he obviously wasn't as scared, but I definitely was like, oh my gosh. So we had to carry an EpiPen around with us 24/7, and so I actually have like a first aid kit that we can look at, and I can show you guys everything that is inside of it. Pretty much it has, it is one of these. It's like, I got this at, cool, something just fell out. I got this at Target. Yeah, but basically it has like regular first aid stuff. So it's got like band-aids and Neosporin and stuff like that, and tissues. But we also have her EpiPen, and then we also have Benadryl, Tylenol, and an over-the-counter cream that the doctor prescribed us for her eczema. But yeah, if she is exposed to egg, and should she not have any sort of reaction that would you know, indicate needing to have her EpiPen administered, we do give her Benadryl, just because the last time she did have eggs with us, she broke out in full body hives, and she was clawing her body, and it was horrible. So we called the doctor, and they said Benadryl, and that is like our plan of action should she get exposed to eggs again and not need her EpiPen. But should she have eggs, hopefully never, and need her EpiPen, it is here, and that's where it is, and hoping and praying we never have to use it. But yeah, that is pretty much what is in her first aid kit. We keep this in her diaper bag, and the diaper bag goes everywhere we go, so the EpiPen and all of the allergy stuff goes with us everywhere, and we always know where it's at. So yeah, we also do have one EpiPen at her grandparents' house, just because we do go there often, and the allergist did suggest keeping it somewhere, you know, like with a family member that we visit often, or that like watches her often, you know, just so they know, and you know, they completely are aware of her allergy and know exactly how to handle it just as well as Mitchell and I do. So that is the main thing that we have, or that like I have made, that has made us have like such a peace of mind. Yeah, so there's the first aid kit. Another thing is reading labels. This is so important, like even if you don't have a food allergy, just to be aware of like what you are exposing yourself to and like exposing your body to. But like, you seriously would be completely like dumbfounded by the amount of things that have egg in it. So basically, like if it has eggs, but also like a lot of other ingredients, it's usually fine. So a lot of like pastas at the store, when you buy pasta, it's usually fine for her to have, especially since it is, you know, boiled before it is given to her, because she can have egg if it's in certain baked goods, but they have to be baked at a certain high temperature and for a longer amount of time, just because the allergist does want her to still be exposed to it, and she doesn't have a reaction when she has those baked goods. So hopefully that will help her grow out of her allergy, or at least, you know, not be so allergic. That's the hope. We actually have to go back to the allergist every year to see and test again to see if she's still as allergic to eggs. But yeah, so reading labels is so important. I like felt like the crappiest mom, because I had a sandwich. This is right after Joanna got, you know, her actual diagnosis for her food allergy. She had a little bit of my sandwich. It had mustard on it, and I did not even think that mustard would have eggs in it, and it did give her a rash. And I felt horrible. So yeah, she actually had to have Benadryl, and that was the last time actually that she really had like a reaction, but that was the super mild one. But I went ahead and gave her some Benadryl just because she was kind of itching at her face, and yeah. So being aware of what is in your home and what has eggs and whatnot, or really just like whatever has your food allergen in it, obviously stay away from it. Another very important thing is that if you like go out to eat or like anything like that, like one, Mitchell and I are pretty much the only people that are allowed to feed her, besides like if somebody asks, like her, you know, like grandparents or something, just so we know exactly what she's eating and what's going into her body, so like nobody's like, I don't know, like, hey Jojo, have a cookie, and like, I don't know, I sound crazy, I sound like a crazy helicopter mom, but like, I think it makes sense. But yeah, if you go out to eat, pretty much, it is so important to tell them that, hey, like, somebody at our table has a food allergy. This dish that you're preparing, like, literally cannot touch any eggs. There cannot be any eggs in it. Like, listen. And usually, like, every single waiter or waitress that we've had has been really, really accommodating and really awesome. We went to go eat, like 2 weekends ago, and I told the waiter, I was like, hey, she's got a really bad egg allergy, like, please make sure that, like, no eggs, like, get into her food. If there are eggs in this dish, just leave it out. Like, please just make sure that you know that, and then please make sure that the kitchen and the kitchen staff know that. And it was so awesome. He was like, hey, like, they just cleaned the prepping area, they made sure that there's, like, no eggs, they made sure to, like, prep the dish, like, in an area where there weren't any eggs, and they, you know, made sure that there was, like, no cross-contamination or anything. And that just kind of helps you have more of a peace of mind when your kiddo does have an egg allergy. So that is that. Also, when you're eating out, make sure to ask questions before you order something. Like, ask, like, hey, does this have an abundance of eggs in it, or something like that. We actually did do that the other day when we went to a place that had Italian food. She actually couldn't have the meatballs because she's gonna have, like, meatballs and spaghetti, but she couldn't have the meatballs because they, like, barely baked the meatballs and they had a lot of egg in it. So yeah, but like, this chef, like, came out and actually talked to us and let us ask her questions, but it was really nice. So if you're just open and nice and you're not crazy and mean, I guess it just, people are really understanding and really accommodating for the most part, and we're really thankful that nobody's been really weird. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye.